We strive every day on Idaho Matters to bring you the latest breaking news. Whether it's the newest bill from the Idaho legislature or the latest measles outbreak, we have the story. Listen to Idaho Matters podcast at boisestatepublicradio.org today.
Happy Friday. It's the Connector Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. Good morning. I'm Troy Oppie. Boise State men's basketball got a big win Thursday, knocking off the San Diego State Aztecs for the first time this season. We have reaction on a special game plan the Broncos prepared to win that game. At the State House, House lawmakers want Idaho to taper off its relationship with a Seattle-based medical training program. A new bill could require the death penalty for certain sex crimes against children, and a protest from a West Ada high school against the district's policy on messaging in classrooms. Those stories and more this morning on The Connector. Governor Brad Little yesterday signed into law an increase in the state's grocery tax credit. Starting next year, Idaho tax filers will be able to claim a $155 credit on their 2025 state returns. That's up from $120 the last 2 years and $100 in tax year 2022. The bill passed both chambers with wide majorities, though several Republicans who voted for it noted they would much rather be voting to eliminate the grocery tax altogether. That effort is not new, but has not gained traction in recent legislative sessions. House lawmakers yesterday okayed a bill directing the state to taper off its decades-long relationship with a Seattle-based physician training program. Here's James Dawson with more.
WWAMI trains aspiring doctors at the University of Idaho for the first 2 years of the program. It's gotten into hot water recently because University of Washington did not expand the number of seats Idaho students get as state lawmakers asked for 2 years ago. Republican Representative Dustin Manwaring's bill transfers at least 10 of Idaho's guaranteed seats in the program to University of Utah's medical school in 2027. That number will eventually grow to 30 seats, but Manwaring says it won't solve Idaho's doctor shortage.
We're going to have to do more in graduate medical education and residencies. And these things work together, but we need more physicians in the pipeline in our state.
Republican Representative Mark Souter says he's concerned that the University of Utah isn't confidently saying it can hold up its end of the deal.
What I hear from the University of Utah is that we're hopeful that we can get all this up and running.
The bill now goes to the Senate for consideration. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
Just days after Governor Brad Little signed a bill making Idaho the only state in the U.S. to use the firing squad as a preferred execution method, a bill mandating the death penalty for certain sex crimes against children is working its way through the state House. Idaho Capitol Sun reports Republican Representative Bruce Scogg's House Bill 380 would require capital punishment for the crime of aggravated lewd conduct with a minor 12 or younger. The bill sets minimum prison sentences for the same crime if the victim is between 13 and 16 years old. Scogg told the House Judiciary and Rules Committee Idaho has some of the loosest punishments of any state for sex crimes involving children. Louisiana lawmakers had a similar law overturned in 2008 by the U.S. Supreme Court. Florida passed a similar bill 2 years ago. Scogg says he expects a court battle if the bill becomes law, but a better outcome from the current Supreme Court compared to 2008. That bill advanced out of committee Thursday to the House floor. We go back to our James Dawson now, who shares that lawmakers are considering letting public school districts hire chaplains as early as next year.
The bill from Republican Representative Dale Hawkins would let school districts hire a paid or voluntary chaplain.
That would be accessible to teachers and whatever rules they want to confine that to, it's completely up to them.
Hawkins says these religious figures help many public servants in society, like first responders and legislators. Any chaplain would have to undergo a background check before being hired. Republican Representative Jack Nelson was the only lawmaker opposed to introducing the bill in the House Education Committee Thursday.
It's one thing for the legislature to have a chaplain. It's quite another for elementary school or public school to have one religion or another.
The bill still needs a public hearing before it could reach the House floor. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
About 50 students from Renaissance High School organized a walkout Thursday to protest the West Ada District's policy on classroom messaging. News broke this week that the district had asked a middle school teacher to remove 2 posters from her classroom. Julie Luqueta has the latest.
One poster from the Meridian Middle School shows hands of different skin colors with the message, "Everyone is welcome here," written above it. The other also says everyone is important, accepted, respected, encouraged, valued, and equal. Speaking before the protest, Finn, a 17-year-old senior at Renaissance High, located next to the district building, said empathy and kindness are not political statements.
We've had desegregated schools for a really long time at this point, so I don't think it's a groundbreaking or political message to say that students of all races and ethnicities should be welcomed and treated kindly at school.
She says by ordering the removal of this message, administrators are censoring teachers.
They're just over-policing our teachers who are already overworked and have a really high burnout rate, when our teachers are just trying to do what's best for their students and make sure that they go to school in a safe and happy learning environment.
On Wednesday, the district issued a statement to staff explaining its position and likening West Ada to a well-coached team in need of a game plan. The 2-page letter, shared by KTVB, said a truly welcoming classroom was not defined by a sign on the wall, but, quote, through strong relationships where teachers uplift and encourage students. The district did not answer requests for comment. Julie Duqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
KTVB first reported the story. The Idaho Statesman reports the 6th grade teacher was told she had until the end of the school year to take down the posters. Sarah Inama from Lewis and Clark Middle School says she initially took the posters down, but upon reflection came back over the weekend and put them back up. In McCall yesterday, St. Luke's detailed a proposal to build 38 new housing units for hospital employees. Amber Green is St. Luke's McCall's chief operating officer. She told McCall City Council last night the hospital often has dozens of unfilled jobs, primarily because there's not enough affordable housing in the community.
At our highest, probably around 50 or 60 open positions within the hospital. And when we employ about 180, that's pretty significant for us, open positions to fill.
St. Luke's spokesman Steve Milliman says they needed to pinpoint what would make housing affordable.
What's really unique about this project is that rents will be calibrated by income, with a goal of rent not being more than 30% of the tenant's income. So it will be able to accommodate a broad range of demographics.
After nearly 2 hours of briefings on the proposal, the City Council agreed they are inclined to greenlight the plan, but want to make a few changes, like building the development out in phases. McCall City staff say they'll bring the final plan back to council for approval in a couple weeks. Boise State men's basketball overcame an 11-point first-half deficit to beat San Diego State yesterday in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Conference Championship Tournament. The Broncos attempted 40 three-pointers in the game, a specific part of the game plan because the Aztecs have been really good all season on defense closer to the hoop. Here's Boise State head coach Leon Rice after yesterday's win.
And that was an adjustment for us. We're one of the best two-point field goal teams. So our style did not match up with their style defensively. And so we had to adjust. And, we had to make that work.
Making it work included good rebounding and defense, too, both of which went right for the Broncos. Defensively, Boise State held SDSU to just 5 free throws and no field goals in the final 9 minutes of the game. The win keeps the Broncos' hopes alive for an NCAA tournament berth. Today, Boise State will face top seed New Mexico in the semifinals. Tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The TV broadcast is on the CBS Sports Network. I want to end this connector on a Friday by saying thank you to those of you who listen and make us part of your morning routine. We surpassed 500 daily downloads yesterday for the first time on this podcast. It's only been going about 7 months, and that's a pretty big number, even if it might not sound like it. We appreciate you listening, we appreciate you subscribing, and we appreciate your support at listener-funded Boise State Public Radio News. You can make a difference with a gift if you'd like anytime at our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. I'm Troy Oppie. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our digital manager is Lacey Daly. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here again on Monday.
What have you always wanted to know about Boise State Public Radio? Join us for another round Wednesday, March 19th at Mad Swede Brew Hall in downtown Boise from 6 to 8 p.m. Learn more about our operations, news content, and our service mission. We welcome your questions and look forward to sharing more about what we do here at Boise State Public Radio. More details can be found on our website at boisestatepublicradio.org.